What's going on, party people? My name is Solomon. I am an artist, and thus I go by Solomon the Artiste. So, again, I'm wearing the same thing. Like I said, I finished doing some self-tapes. I just finished filming one video, which you probably saw before this one. If you haven't, go ahead and watch it. I'm wearing the same outfit. But I'm pretty much just sort of making up for some lost time. I tried to shoot this video a couple of days ago, actually, and all the odds were against me. The room that I'm filming in, the heater broke down, and so I had to use a space heater, which was not working so well, and I was freezing, and so I gave up. And I purchased the oil radiator heater type thing, whatever. Either way, I'm looking down because it's right there in front of me. In any case, things are better now. But I also, even if all of that wasn't going wrong, I could not seem to get the video to come out properly. And that's probably for the best, I realized, because for one thing, I didn't want to do the video and sound as if I was angry or bitter or anything like that, because I'm genuinely not. But it's just something I wanted to speak on. But then I had to also wonder, like, why do I feel the need to speak on it if I'm not bothered? And so I was being real with myself. Am I bothered by it? And so I'm thinking maybe I am bothered, but not bitter. And when I really thought about it, I think a part of it just sort of brings me back to my grade school days. Did I do my intro? I can't remember if I did my intro. We're gonna see at the end. If I didn't, then I'll just throw it in there somewhere. In any case, I've spoken about this before. Like, I grew up not being very popular at all. I was always made fun of. I was picked on. I remember in high school, not even junior high school or elementary school. Sorry, y'all. Like I said, I'm tired. I was filming these self-tapes and whatnot. But I remember in high school even, it was a Spanish class. And I'm pretty sure I was in 11th grade. And somebody was throwing stuff at me in class. You know, it was bad. So I think when it comes to, actually, I didn't even speak on I didn't mention what it is I intend to speak on, even though I'm sure you see it in the title. So let me go back a bit. I have this, it's never planned, but I have this thing about me where every year, at least once a year, I just sort of do a social media cleanse. And it's never intentional. But it just so happened that I went to go wish someone a happy birthday. I saw that they posted that it was their birthday, so I went to go wish her happy birthday, and she had never responded with a thank you or anything. In which, I'm not saying that you gotta respond if I say happy birthday to you, but it was just weird to me because I'm like, no, she would have seen it. I know her enough to know that she would have said thank you or something, just acknowledged me. And I don't know why I just said to myself, does she still follow me? Because maybe if she's not following me, I know if you send a message to someone on Instagram and they're not following you, it goes to their other folder or whatever it's called. At least that's what happens to me. Sure enough, it turned out that she was no longer following me. And I saw that and I was like, huh. And it didn't bother me at all. And I think that's usually how it starts. For some reason I go to check if someone is following me because something happens in messages. And as it turned out, with this, the person may not be following me, and then it just throws me into this rabbit hole of going through the process of figuring out, who unfollowed me? So, and that's how my social media cleanses pretty much start and come about. So I went through the process of just going through and seeing who's following, who's not following, and whatever. And some of the people that had unfollowed me, it was just shocking to me because I'm like, why? What did I do? For me personally, like, social media is not that big of a deal. I don't care for it that much, but it's obviously very much so a part of art in all ways, shapes, and forms, in music, in acting. You know, it's basically, you know, particularly with Instagram, it's pretty much your virtual business card, if you will, you know. And that's why I think it bugs me also a bit when someone, particularly if it's someone artistic whom I've connected with or thought I connected with, unfollows me. So for me, speaking on Instagram specifically, just to narrow down the social media thought process, I follow people for one of three reasons. One is that you are, you know, an immediate family member or a friend whom I'm super close with, probably because I went to college with you or something. I have a relationship with you, basically, of some sort. Second reason that I'll follow someone is because they're a celebrity or public figure that I'm genuinely interested in keeping up with, and there aren't that many. And then the third would be someone whom basically I've met, who is essentially a contact that I put in my rolodex. And this might be someone whom I met while I was performing in a musical theater production. It might be someone who I met while performing at an open mic, or maybe at a concert. It might be someone whom I met while working one of my many survival jobs, you know, working the festival circuit or whatever, you know. And this particular girl was someone who I met working at one of the festivals that I so often do, or did, before the pandemic. But we connected not just because of the festival, but because we're both artist types. She's someone who I intended to work with for some set design work, for some videos I wanted to do. In any case, my whole thing is, so originally when I was doing the video, and this is why I was worried that I might sound like I'm just bitter or something, but my thing was, I know to a lot of people numbers mean something. I personally don't care. I really don't. Which is why, for me, if I find that you unfollow me, it's just like, oh, okay, well, if you unfollowed me, then that tells me that you're not interested in possibly working with me or anything. Like, if I follow you and you're a part of my Rolodex following, then it's for a reason. There's something that you do that I'm interested in working with you, you know, for whatever. And so if you unfollow me, it's sort of a blow. It's like, all right, well, okay. And so for me, it's kind of like, my thing is, if you unfollow me, that you're telling me also that you're not that interested in what I have to offer, because most of my Instagram is really just, it's something to do with the artistic work that I do, whether it's singing or acting or whatever. And if that's the case, you're telling me, in my mind, it's like you're telling me you're not interested in what I have to offer. But how dare you think that I care enough to keep following you? Again, if you're not a part of the family or friends who are close enough where I feel that I have a relationship or can possibly consider family, or if you're not a celebrity whom I'm following because I'm interested genuinely in what it is that you have to offer, and of course if you're a celebrity or public figure, you're not following me back for the most part. What makes you think that I want to continue following you if you're not part of those two groups? You know, what makes you think that I'm that invested to want to keep seeing what's going on in your life? If you plan to unfollow, it's best, I feel, to just block and unblock. When you block and unblock, that allows you to have us both unfollow each other. And that just makes it simple. That just makes it better, I think, you know. And I know for a fact that a lot of these people who have unfollowed, it's simply because they're not interested in what I have to offer, but they also want to keep their number up. You ain't getting that number from me, bruh. Or lady, I'm just saying. And it's interesting, I don't know if I ever said this on video, but I remember when this happened maybe about a year ago or so with one particular person, but that particular, okay, I'm not even gonna get into that, but my thing is, if you are, the point is this, if you're part of the Rolodex, that means you do some sort of art in the sense that you may be a producer that I want to work with, you may be a singer who I might want to sing backup for, you may be someone I want to just collab with in general, whether singer or rapper. You might be someone who's supposedly good at marketing, or you might be someone who is a concert creator or promoter, and and you decide that I'm not worth following, maybe because you don't think, it's possible, and it's okay if you don't think that my music is worth listening to. That's totally fine. I don't mind that at all. It is what it is. But this bleeds into something else also. A lot of people, this is technically another video, but I'm gonna just put it all here. A lot of people, I know for a fact, like if it wasn't for me being connected to my brother / business partner, they would have no interaction with me at all, and I know that for a fact. And again, that's something that's okay. It used to bother me about maybe 5 years ago or so, but I've grown to realize that it's okay. I am not everyone's cup of tea, especially in this day and age where I walk a very unique path, in the sense that I make it very clear I love the Lord. I'm not perfect, and I definitely could and should be better in my faith. I'm very honest about that. But where I am now, I still am very much so in love with the Lord, in love with my faith in Christ. And because of that, you don't really hear me drop cuss words in my music. You don't hear me sing explicitly about a woman's body. You don't hear me sing about sexcapades and all that stuff, And that puts me in a weird place musically, because people want more. I have a certain vocal type and I can do certain things. And my thing is, when I first worked with major labels, or even even removing the major labels, working with certain, I'll never forget one person when I was 20 years old told me, "Yo, Solomon, you tall, you light skinned, you sing, you're behind off." He said something else, obviously. "You gotta dirty up your image a little bit. You look like a church boy. If you just dirty up your image and just sing them ladies under the sheets, yo, game over." And I was young and impressionable, but I gave in. I said, okay, let's do it. And I did it. And yes, I got a little bit of notoriety, but it was also very clear to people, I think, that it wasn't me. It wasn't believable, no matter how hard I tried. And you would think like, oh, he an actor, why he couldn't play it off? It's one thing to act, it's another thing to pretend or to fake, If I don't believe in something, it's hard for me to deliver, It's so funny, like, I just went on, like, I feel like 5 different tangents. Where are we at? 14 minutes. But coming back to the original point of this video, like, I don't think I'm being childish or anything like that. It's just, I think it's, I don't think I'm being childish, but I do think I'm being affected by childhood experiences. You know, I think it's because I can tell you for a fact, like growing up, I was always able to count whatever friends I had on one hand, and that one hand did not have all the fingers up ever, you know. So I think it's not just a blow to my artistic self, but it's also, I think it's that little kid inside of me that just feels like, you know, why don't you like me? Even though as a grown man I don't feel hurt, or I'll be real, maybe I've just learned to suppress, or maybe I've just learned to, you know, dodge the bullets, or I've learned to just, you know, walk it off, whether the bullets catch me or not. But it is what it is, you know. I always feel so awkward shooting videos like this because I feel vulnerable. There's a part of me, and I feel like I can hear it in my speaking voice, where it's like I sort of recluse and revert to my kid self. You know, I just feel that angst all over again. And I don't like it, but I go through it because I know I'm not the only one who does that and goes through that. Ooh, and that reminds me of, and speaking of all of this, it takes me to another thing I want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it in another video. I'm going to save that for another video. It's interesting. Maybe I should wait to see if there's an ending to that thing I want to talk about. We'll see. I'll give it another day or so. In any case, though, I hope this video helps someone. I like doing these videos. Like, they are very therapeutic. I have to like pick and choose the things I talk about. Like, I'm more than willing to be open with, you know, my feelings and whatnot. I've learned that it's necessary, especially as a man of color, as a black man, to be, you know, allow myself to be sensitive and honest and open and whatnot. But on that note, since my phone is ringing, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.